Day 143. I think at this point I forgot the reasoning behind a shower. So I am from head to toe covered in sweat. We just left the hostel this morning. And this is only 2 miles in. All right, we made it to the top of Mount Liberty. All right, still on Mount Liberty, but only like 5 minutes later. Check out this giant cloud that we're in now. That happened so fast. Pretty wild. Still kind of in a cloud though. We're heading up that little area right there. I think this is the prettiest place I've ever hiked in my life.
Else, at least we got one. That was very nice.
It's hard to tell because of the clouds, but like, it is incredible. I'm in love. I'm in love with this hike. Day 144, and we have summited Mount Garfield. Woo! What a view. So we made it to the Galehead Hut. The Whites have huts along the way, which people stay at. It's kind of expensive, so like thru-hikers don't really stay here unless you're doing like a work for stay, because I think it's like $190 a night. But if you're a thru-hiker, while you're going to the Whites, you do get a bowl of soup for free and 2 baked goods, which I thought that was kind of cool. And it's a really soupy weather kind of day.
make some ramen.
All right, so it is day 145. So yesterday was just a long day. It was pretty tiring. It was really overcast and gloomy, so a lot of just like hard climbs with no views, so the day just felt pretty long. So we got a good night's sleep, and we have a pretty short day today, but not an easy day. We just finished a pretty hard climb up Mount Webster. We made it to the top, but I'm feeling pretty good because weather has kind of cleared up. It's still a little overcasty, but clouds are clear enough to give us this great view. And there's everybody for lunch. And tight Samaya. Good morning. Okay, so it is about 5 o'clock this morning. We woke up around 3:30, left camp at 4:30, because I think we're about to have our biggest day yet. And not mileage wise, we're only doing 20 miles, but 20 miles in the whites, it's gonna be a heck of a day. I think we have about 5,500 feet of elevation gain, about 7,000 feet of descent. But both of those are like a lot of rock scrambles. So sometimes it's pretty slow moving, like a mile an hour kind of going. If it's anything like yesterday there were areas that we had to like put our trekking poles behind us and use all of our limbs to climb up some like rock faces. So that's kind of what we were expecting today, hoping for the best. Got an early start, so hopefully it won't be too late of a day, but we are also conquering Mount Washington, which is huge, and we're all really excited about it and hoping for good weather and some good views. Really lucked out today. The early wake up was such a good call because we had awesome weather on top of Mount Washington. It was like super cold, but it was clear, which was great, so you got a good view. But it was cold enough that I literally put my dirty hiking socks on my hands for gloves because I thought my hands were just gonna fall off. But we are on the descent now, and still got a lot of ups and downs for the day. And this is our weather. We're hiking through. Whoop. I should probably pay attention and not trip over rocks. I'm trying to show how steep. It's so hard to show you how steep that is. Okay, so here we are, 7:30. We finished the 20 miles. It is, okay, we did take a couple breaks, but 15 hours of hiking later, and we're still in a good mood.
Look at Maya.
Oh, I said Maya.
Maya's
Maya's very
done.
tired. Oh, and look who picked us up. Yay! Day 148. We zeroed at the barn hostel yesterday, and we are now have a 2-day trek over the Wildcats, the crew and I, and we're at halfway, not even halfway, up the super steep climb that we're doing. We got a good view of Mount Washington over there. Okay, day 149. I woke up with a good sore throat this morning, and I think that's from the other morning when we hiked really early, and it was just so windy and so cold, and I could feel like my lips getting chapped, and I just knew that breathing that in wasn't going to be good, but it was beautiful still. So feeling a little bit of that today. I think we have like 11 miles to go over the Wildcats. We broke that up into a 2-day stint, so that way we only had to carry 2 days of food because it's pretty hard climbing. And then we're going to go back to the barn hostel and resupply for the next town. So kind of like the same thing that we did for the Notch. We just resupplied already and they're hanging on to us, and we'll go back, spend the night there in a comfy bed again, and then get back on trail tomorrow. Okay, so we made it to the end of the day. Today was really tough. The weather was great and the views were like absolutely beautiful, but I just felt like crap all day. So I was living on Advil and ibuprofen because I'm pretty sure I had a fever and I was just feeling pretty crappy and my throat hurt. So we got back to the hostel, but we haven't gone in the hostel yet. Instead, we decided to come over and get a COVID test before I went in there, and
We're pregnant.
we're not pregnant, but we are COVID positive. So oh my gosh, Blue. We're trying to figure out how to navigate that on the trail. So I think instead of the hostel, we're gonna try to get refunded and go get a hotel room so we don't infect everybody, and then see how we're feeling. And if we can hike, I guess the woods is the best place to isolate yourself, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so the update is that we told the hostel that I had COVID, but Blue and Tight Tights were both negative. Their tests were negative, but he still We asked if we could just hit in the backyard, but he was not a fan of us being on the premises, so we got a hotel room for the night, which I'm really glad to have a bed. And I'm feeling like crap, so I'm hoping that I took a shower. I'm about to go to bed, and I'm hoping it'll be better tomorrow. Okay, day 150. So I had a rough night last night. I just ran a fever all night and was really uncomfortable. And I woke up feeling pretty awful and had a really bad headache, so I decided to take a 0 for today because I did not think that hiking would go very well. So spent the day in a hotel room, pretty much laying around and sleeping most of the day. And my throat really hurts, but I'm feeling much better now that the fever has broke. So hopefully have some medicine, and I got a lot of sleep, like I said, so hopefully we'll be feeling better by tomorrow. I'll be able to hike out at least a little bit, so we shall see how it goes.